This episode is about a number, and it's probably not the number you think. Because most of y'all are tracking income, your revenue, what's sitting in your bank account, and thinking that that tells you how safe you are. Newsflash, it doesn't. So, we're going to talk about the FEMFlow Protection Index, or your FPI. You might be wondering, like, what is it? It's a number that tells you one thing and one thing only: how protected you are, not how much money you make. And that's exactly why most people don't want to see it. Because the FBI does not care about your income. It don't care about your lifestyle. It don't care what your accountant said. It only cares about one thing. If everything stopped today, are you actually good? Are you protected? It is a culmination of your score for survival, stability, self care, and savings. So let's go ahead and look at it because this is where shit's about to get real. Part of my language, okay? But it's about to get real. This right here, this is what y'all think y'all have, right? Y'all think y'all got that full financial sovereignty right there. You got full control over your money. You got options. You got financial freedom because you got a certain number in your bank account. So you moving how you want to, spending how you want to, living how you want to. Because in your mind, your money has you protected. Cool. But look at the number right here, 48.7. How does that make sense when you're living a sovereign life? You think your money protects you? We're in 2026. Gwen Stefani, her GXVE brand is shut down. Pat McGrath, she filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. These are people with money, visibility, access, and everything that following the old money rules tells them I'm good. And they still got hit. So, what exactly do you think your situation is built on? Because the problem isn't income. They have hella income, right? The problem is y'all are still playing by the rules that were never built to protect you. They got you living a sovereign life with a fragile FPI. You got all this money sitting in your bank account and your protection is sitting on the floor. It ain't even up there. So you living like you got options, but your protection sitting at 48. That is not sovereignty. That is higher exposure. Because now you got more to lose than you used to. And this is the part that most people don't even want to admit, okay? You can have money and still not be protected. You can have money in the bank. That first score, that shows survival, it's sitting at 100. You covering all your needs because your money coming in, right? But you still are fragile. This second number, that shows stability. It's sitting at a 10. That third number, that self-care is sitting at a 0. And that last number is your savings. It's sitting at a 4. And that's why your FPI is at a 48. Because you covering all your expenses, you funding your lavish lifestyle, but you ain't worried about your stability long term. You think spa days and trips and vacations is self-care. That's why it's sitting at 0. Because that's self-care to you. No, that's an illusion of self-care. That's indulgence. It's not the same thing. Self-care is about protecting the most valuable asset in your business, which is you. It's you. I don't care how many spa days you have. Yo, FPI don't care how many spa days you have. That don't mean you protected. Because a spa day, what does that do for your capacity if you taking one every day because you working all the time? If you at a masseuse every day because your body hurting because you're working yourself to the bone to try to keep up with that lifestyle. Because you know you got to keep that money coming in because it can all go away. And when it goes away, you're going to be right back where you started. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm just telling you the truth because that's what the FPI is. It is the truth teller. It don't care how much money you have. No one is immune to the fact that they're unprotected, no matter what your bank account tells you. No one is immune to that. We're all equal in that sense. You got people out here worth millions and billions of dollars. And they protection score probably in the basement too. Because that money, once it's gone, once you can't continue that output that you're doing, the excessive output, once that drops or something shifts in the market or your career is gone, if this is your FPI right here, if this is your stability, if this is your savings, how long are you going to last? If your self-care is sitting at zero, what you think is going to happen? You're going to burn out regardless of how much money you have. Because money sitting somewhere is not the same thing as protection that outlasts it. So you can keep your sovereign lifestyle and your 48.7 FPI. If that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative, okay? So you live in a sovereign life, but what your focus truly needs to be is this right here. Stability. Why? Because that's the second score and it's low. It's low. Now your FPI is really only 44.2 because this is the next number that matters for you. Survival, you're good. But stability, you don't even have it yet. You got to build it. So this is where your focus actually needs to be, not living a sovereign life, not the image, not the lifestyle, stability right here. Because look at that number again, 44.2. That is not, I'm good. That's if something shifts, I need to figure something out fast. Because again, a lot of y'all look good right now on paper. Money's coming in. Your bills are getting paid. Your life looks straight. Your goals, right? Everybody want to live the life you live in. But the second that income slows down or stops, all that shit you got that you proud of, that you showing off on social media, those gonna be the first things to go. The nice house you living in gotta go because you can't afford the property taxes or the mortgage or the rent, depending on, how you got that house, right? That luxury car you driving, you can't afford the car note. Or maybe you can't afford the gas to put in it. So that's gonna go. All those unbudgeted shopping trips you're having, them gonna stop. All of the extras you're indulging in. So because you thought getting a massage every day, going to the spa once a week was self-care, now you ain't got the money to do that, and your self-care still at zero. Because you was focused on the wrong self-care. But the reason all that stuff is gonna go is because you're not maintaining a lifestyle anymore. You're trying to survive. You don't want this number to drop below what it is. But that means these numbers are never going to increase unless you're focusing on them. Because if you don't focus on them, nothing's going to change. You're going to stay unprotected. And that's exactly why the FPI exists, right? It's not to make you feel good. It's not to validate you because you got hella money in your bank account. It's not meant to match your ego. It is meant to tell you the truth. So when you see your number and it makes you uncomfortable, good. That means it's working. Because now you're finally looking at something real. Not what looks good on social media or in your bank account. Not what feels like you out here living your best life. What it actually is, where you're actually sitting at. You're fully exposed with this low FPI, low stability, non existent self care, barely scratch the surface savings. You are fully exposed and you can't stay that way. So if your protection doesn't match your income, then you're nowhere near as safe as you think you are. So at this point, you got a choice when you see your number. You can ignore it and end up like every other high earner where something shifts and then everything changes and they out here filing bankruptcies, shutting down their businesses, barely being able to afford things, selling their cars, selling their homes, restructuring, moving assets, right? You can ignore it and you can let that be your future. Keep playing by the old money rules. Or you can take it as the signal that it's meant to be and decide, hell nah, I'm about to fix this shit. Yeah, I know, I cuss, it's cool. But listen, if this episode hit too close to home for you, then you already know what you need to do. You know where to find me. I'm on all the socials, right? You can even go to my website. Just search up Fem Solutions Ltd. I want you to book your FemFit session. Let's figure out what your FPI is so you know where you need to focus your efforts so we can move you from fragile to protected ASAP. And next week, we're going to go a little deeper, okay? We're going to talk about what happens with the gap. Because there is a very real gap between your income and your FPI. If you wasn't focusing where you needed to focus while you was building your money. But it's not too late, okay? It's not too late. But we're going to talk about what happens when you're stuck in that gap of high income with dangerously low protection. So make sure you follow the Femolution podcast. Turn on your notifications. And I'm going to see y'all next week, next Tuesday. Okay? Bye.